Hey guys, good evening. This is Ron Doster with Travel Solutions. I'm one of the co-founders, and it is so exciting to be with you guys tonight. And I have Sophia with us, and she's our customer success manager, and she's going to be with you guys right through this whole process. I'm going to be there, with you, and of course, you're going to have Suzanne and Steve also. And we have a whole team behind you, and we're just so excited to have you guys join us and be part of our group. So what's going to happen? Okay, so here's Steve has sent us all the data, and we have loaded all of your future bookings into the system already. Now he's got years and years worth of data. He's working on that, and we're going to get all of your history loaded also. Now we're going to be walking you through how to get started and how to use the system. Tonight, this is an introduction, and I'm going to show you what to do when you get your activation email. You should be getting that soon, and Suzanne's going to talk to us about that. And so we're going to get those activation emails over to you, and then I'm going to show you how to get started from there. Okay? All right, let's do it.
Hey, Ron, can you hear me?
I can, yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. With the data doesn't include anything that was entered in March, and so by the end of the month, we plan on having it current.
Sure.
Okay.
And so what Steve's doing, he's getting different files for us, and I'm going to show you how to enter things. If you've entered it and it comes over on the feed, it's not going to duplicate any of your data. Okay. And so he's working real hard on that. We're all teamed up together to make this transition really smooth. So let's get started. All right. Thanks, Steve. I got my email. I checked my email, and I see this action required account activation. And this is the training account. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to begin activation. It's welcome to Travel Solutions. It's going to tell you a little bit of information. I'm going to go ahead and click this button. Let's begin this activation. Everybody has to have an agreement. I'm going to read it and accept it. Now, what's on the left over here, you don't have to worry about. Right here, you just need to set a password. So I'm going to set my password, 8 characters long, at least 8 characters long, has to be a capital letter, has to be a small case letter, and at least a number. So I'm going to type that in here. And I'm going to try my best to remember it. And here it's going to challenge me to see if I actually did remember it. So I'm going to type it again. Okay. Now it says it's all good. I'm going to continue. Come on. Well, let's try this one. I'm definitely keyboard challenged. Okay. Now, we're going to talk more about these two programs here in the next few days. We're going to have some more of these trainings. Right now, I'm going to stick with the standard, okay? And it's my understanding, Suzanne, that this is going to be covered.
Yes, we're going to cover the standard.
Right. So this is not going to cost me anything. We're going to talk later about what this advanced means, and that's where all the exciting stuff is. And we're going to do some webinars on that, okay? But right now, I'm just going to choose this. Okay. All right. And I'm going to enter my credit card later, and I'm going to activate my account. It was that easy. Okay, I'm in. Now what I'm going to do is click here, and it tells me my username is training. Also, I just got an email. We're going to look at that email. My username is training, and the password is what I just set it to. And you've got to know the short name in order to log in. And it's an easy short name, FTJ Travel. So I'm going to click here on my dashboard, and I'm in the system. It was that easy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and log out and see if I can pull that off again. And so when this is what you're going to want to bookmark, this link right here. and I'm going to put training. I'm going to put that password I just entered. And then here I'm going to put FTJ Travel and sign in. Look at that. I pulled it off. That's one of the tougher parts. I got it. Okay. Now, there's a couple things we need to do the setup. So over here, I can click here and I can see my profile. So this is where my profile. I'm going to enter my address. Okay. And I can put my nickname here as Ron. I could put my website. I'm just going to save that. Now down here, and your phone numbers, Steve sent that data over. You should have a phone number here. But contact detail is how we add all of this stuff. I'm going to add a piece of contact detail, and I'm going to put my telephone number. Okay. And I never know my telephone number. It's awful. I just can't remember. I never call it. And this is my work number, and this is 904, and it is 428. Oh wait, I like to put the dashes. 904-428. Sophia's laughing at me now. I know it's okay. All right, so that's my phone number. I've got my email address and I got my phone number. All right, this is my commission rate. If I can't change it, I try to get a promotion, but I can't. If something's wrong with that, you got to contact the office and they will take care of that for you. Okay. All right, I don't have any trips, no clients, none of that stuff. The next thing I need to do, and I only have to do this one time, is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on settings. Now, I need to authorize my email. So I'm going to click this button, authorize email. It tells me why I have to do it. And I'm just going to say begin. I'm going to select the email address that I want to use when communicating with my clients. So I only have one, so it's got to be that one. And what telephone number do you want to use when communicating with your clients? And I'm going to say authorize. Okay. Now, anytime we send something to clients, we're going to have all the social media icons on there, every single one of them. The only one that's going to actually show up is the ones that I have a value. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to click on Ron. And this is Ron's house here. That's where he lives. And I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put my Facebook page. If I have one of those tweet accounts or one of those other things, then I would cut and paste those in here. And I'm going to save that. Okay. So that's all the setup I need to do. Well, I'm going to come back over here to my user. And there's one important thing, because when we start sending things to the clients are going to see a picture of you. So what I'm going to do is click here and I'm going to go find one of these beautiful pictures of me. Let me see here. I got to find the pretty one. Where is it? I'm looking on my computer and I'm going to find here, Ron. Okay, there he is, that young guy. And so I can move this around, crop it, do all this stuff. Okay, and I'm going to click save. So we've got that. All right, so I've got all that done. This is all I need to do. I went to my profile, I set everything up, and I got all this done. Now later, and I'm going to show you in our next videos, is when we start talking about the advanced account, I'm just going to click on my account and I'm going to click this and I'm going to upgrade. We're going to talk about that more later. All right, so I'm all set. I'm ready to go. So let's go back to the dashboard, and I don't have any sales. When you log in, you're going to see your trips and stuff. So you're going to see your sales here. Sales is when you sold something based on booking dates. So you're going to see some graphs here. Upcoming trips is going to be a list of all your upcoming trips. And then we're going to talk about these tasks. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show you, like Steve said, the trips that you have on the books now, you're going to see them there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go enter a brand new one like I'm working with a new agent. So there's several ways to get started. The way I like to get started is straight inside the trip. So this is our menu on the left. And here we have trip management. And I'm just going to click on trips. Now, here is a list of all my trips. I don't have any, so I've got to add a new one. You're going to have yours that's there now, and you're going to go in and look at those, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But here, I'm just going to click this green button, and I'm going to add a regular trip. So when someone wants to go somewhere, we refer to it as a trip. Now, inside the trip, there's going to be a lot of different elements. We have trip information, we have travelers, we have bookings. Across the top here, you see these tabs. We have bookings, we have documents, tasks, we have all these different things. And down here is where we start building the itinerary. So I'm just going to get started, and they're going on a vacation, and I'm going to choose out, they're going to go Labor Day, okay? And so they're going to go from the 4th through the 8th. Okay, here I'm going to put the name, the last name of who I'm talking with, okay? And so here I'm going to put, let's see, I always like this word. I use this word everywhere, Adams. Everybody has to know Adams. And this is going to be the Adams Disney trip fall 2020. Okay, I'm just going to save it. So that's how we start a trip. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add who's going. So I'm going to come over here and add a traveler. I'm going to choose first a primary. Every trip has a primary. This is who you're talking to. Who's paying the bill? And so here I'm going to put Karen Adams. Well, Karen Adams didn't come up. That means that she's not in my client system. I don't have a profile for her already. So I don't have to go over here to client management and add her. I can just click right here to create a new one. And then it's going to bring up this fast form that's going to add it on the fly. I do know her email address. So we're going to put that. Okay. I know her phone number. All right. And that's all I know right now. Okay. So I've added Karen, and now I'm going to save her to the trip. So I have a person on the trip. All right. And here it tells me that automation emails are only available in advanced package. That's fine. I don't have the advanced package. We're not going to worry about this right now. But I've added that. Now I can go here to Karen, and I can take a look at her profile. Here's her client profile. We can add all this information here. She's a female. I know her address, Sandstone Way. I might know some other things here. I know her, I'm gonna look here at the reward program, and I'm going to add her American Airlines number. I happen to know it. Anytime I find a piece of information about the client, I'm going to save it right here. Okay, might be her castaway number, whatever. So every time I see a piece of information about the client, I'm going to come here and add it. Under tracking, this is where if she gave me a credit card, I can add it here. Relationships, I'm going to click add a relationship, and I'm going to say her husband, and we're going to call him Steve. It's a good name. Steve Adams. Create a new one. Okay. So I don't know any of this information on Steve, but I do know he's at the same address. I'm going to click that and I'm going to create it and I'm going to save it. So now I just added a new client profile, but showed the relationship to her. I'm going to add one more and we're going to go with son. And this is going to be John. Keep hitting this button over here. John Adams, create a new one, same address. I do know his birth date, and this is going to be 2015. I'm going to create it and I'm going to save it. Okay. So this is every trip that Karen has been on. I can see this trip. So I'm going to go back to this trip. And now I'm going to add the other travelers. I could have added them right here, but I just wanted to show you how you could do it over there. So I'm going to add a secondary traveler. And here I'm going to add, Steve was first, I think. And pulls him up. And I'm going to add one more secondary traveler. And I'm going to put here, what was it, John. Okay, neat thing is only 3 letters is all it takes to find somebody. So now I have my travelers. I have my trip. I have my travelers. Okay. So that's how we just keep building things here. So I went out to, I got a colon in here, semicolon. I don't need, let's move that. I went out to Disney and I actually did the booking. Okay. So here on the booking tab is where I'm going to keep track of the bookings. And so here I have a booking and I'm going to put the booking number Disney gave me when I booked it, and I booked it today. Here I'm going to put Walt. Okay, the package price was $5,200, and here we're going to put $520. Final payment date is going to be on 08/04/2020, and here I can put a description. This was resort and tickets. And I'm going to save it. Okay. So now I have my trip. I have when they're going, who's going, and I have a booking. So what I want to do is go back to my trip list. And so I have this trip list now, and I can see this. It shows that I have one booking, price, balance, nothing's been paid. And this is where all of your list is going to be. Now I'm going to come in here and open this trip again. And the next thing I want to do is I want to say where they're going. I'm going to click Add Resort. And let's send them to Disney Animal. So I start typing, spell Disney right. Disney, D-I-S-N-E-Y, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Okay. What room category do they have? They have, I don't know what these things are. Club level, that sounds good. Club always sounds good. And I'm going to save it. So this is kind of, so without the room category, you know, your Disney, your traveler, this, and your booking is what should be there when you log in and see the ones that we brought over. Okay. And so if something's not there, like Steve said, we can wait and, you know, they'll be brought over, or I can just click here and add them. It's not going to duplicate them. So this is a booking. We have our trip. We have the booking down here. We have where they're going. We have everything. Now, a couple things that I can do here to set up. And so here, when I was in this booking, is I had 8/4 was the booking date. So what I want to do is I want to actually add a task to remind me of that. So I'm going to click add task, and I'm going to say this is final payment, and the date is going to be on this date. And how many days would I like to get an email about this before it's due? I'm going to say 3 days. You're going to put what you want. So I'm going to say 3 days, and then I'm going to choose a type. This is a payment. If I want to put more details in here, I can, and I'm just going to save that. So now for this trip, I have a to-do list. See, under task, I need to make sure on this date I get the final payment 5 months from now. So I can add task, and we're going to look more at that in the future, how we can make those automatically be there for us. So I've done this. Maybe I got a confirmation back from Disney. So I'm going to click here on document, and I'm going to add a document, and I'm going to go find that confirmation that I saved from Disney. Here it is, and I'm just going to upload it. So maybe I got some e-tickets, maybe I got that PDF, from Disney, whatever. Also in here, I can come and I can make some notes, and every time I talk to them, I can add notes. I can say talked with Karen about Animal Kingdom for Labor Day. Now, if I have an issue with the wholesaler, if something's going wrong here, I'm just going to cut and paste that email, and I'm going to put it in here. Because then when you come back here, you're going to see it, and you're going to know exactly what's going on. Let's say there's an issue, and Suzanne has to look at it. She's going to see exactly what's been done, and everything's going to be perfect. Over here under timeline, every time anything's done, we're going to have exactly what happened here. Let's say for some reason I have to come back over to this booking, and this amount was wrong, and this was actually 5,400. So I modify it and I save it. Now, when I go here to timeline, I'm going to see here that the package price used to be 5,200, now it's 5,400, and the date and time that you change that. So everything's going to be here for us, guys. This is kind of in a nutshell. We're going to do one more thing here. I'm going to go to this booking, and I'm going to open the booking, and I'm going to record a payment that the client made a payment, and I'm going to come here and add a payment. Which client made it? Karen made it. Payment type, initial deposit, made it today, $500. Credit card, doesn't have a credit card on file yet, but that's okay. We're going to get to that. So here I can just say I use their Visa ending, and I'm going to save it. Now I have the payment. Communication is how you communicate to the client. I'm going to pull up communication. I'm going to look here at this invoice. Here we have the invoice, okay? And see my Facebook, because that's all I added. This is your information. This is the logo. And I'm just going to click to email this to the client, or I'm going to turn it into a PDF. There we go for the PDF. So this is kind of where we are, guys. So what I want to do in summary is I did this. That's all set. I'm going to do one more trip real quick, and then we're going to get into questions and answers. So I have another trip. I'm going to put in a regular trip. Okay. I'm going to pick some dates. It was a vacation. And this one is going to be May the 6th through the 13th. Okay. And this is going to be the Jones. Got to keep up with the Jones. Disney Cruise. I'm going to save that. I'm going to add my traveler, and this is Jennifer, the other Jennifer. Okay, and I'm going to put their email address. And create it. And then I would go and do the booking just like I did before. Here I'm going to click add cruise, and I'm going to type in Disney, the other Disney, coming out of Port Canaveral, room category, and this was going to be extended. That's the one I like. And I'm going to save it. Add the booking and the booking number. And the date, I booked it February the 1st, and this was Disney. It's real important to get the date that you actually did the booking here. That's real important. Okay. This was going to be 6,400, and this is 640, and I'm just going to save that. So you see, I have everything just like I did before. I've got this booking in there. I've got everything. I need to add my other travelers. But you see, you can add cruises, you can add resorts, you can add all kinds of things. We're going to learn more about those others. But right now, what I want to do is I'm going to come over down here to reports, and I'm going to look at my projected income. And this should be for the year, everybody you have traveling based on their travel date. So the data that we loaded in there for you, you're going to take a look at it. If something's not right, you're just going to correct it, just like we did here. And you're going, this is who you have traveling the rest of the year. This is what we're going to be looking to. Now we're going to get together again next week and go over things a little bit more in detail after you've had a little bit of time to get in there. But this is it. So projected income based on travel date. Commissions earned based on booking date, when you put it in. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and here I see I had a sale in February. I had one in March. Now, as soon as we get the historical data, you're going to have a blue column behind it, which is going to show what you did this same month last year versus this year. Down here, when you get a commission check, then, you know, from FJT, your checks are going to be down here. Here I have who's traveling in the future, and here I have my to-do list of things I need to do. So what I want to do is open up the questions now. If you've got some questions, you can unmute your mic, or you can type in the question, whatever is working for you, okay? So let me see how I get back to the questions. I lost them.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
This is Cheryl Daniel. I have a question about credit card information. Is that going to be stored in there? And if so, how secure?
Okay. Well, it's definitely very secure. Let's go take a look at that. So let's say that I'm going to come here to all my clients, and Karen called me and gave me their credit card. So I'm going to come to Karen's profile. I'm going to click on tracking, and I'm going to add a credit card. The name on the card is Karen Adams. The card number, expiration date. Okay, I'm gonna make this her default card. Same address is on her profile, and I'm gonna save it. Now, here's the credit card. You can decrypt it at any time, get the information. You can click here and get the address and everything. What we don't do at this time, and the reason is to be PCI compliant, is we did not ask for their CVV code. So you're going to have to get that from them on the telephone or some other method. But here is her credit card. Then when she comes here to this trip to make a payment, let's say she wants to make a regular payment on this, and open this up, and I go to payments, and I'm going to add a payment, and Karen made it, and this was a regular payment, and she made it today, and she wanted to pay another 500. Credit card was this one, and save it, and it's all set. Okay, so and probably not the next webinar, but the next one, I'm going to show you how the client can send that credit card information to you, and how the client can validate that their names is correct, like it's on their passport or their driver's license. I'm going to show you how they can sign off on travel insurance and answer any question you have for them by doing client portal task. So that's going to be really cool. I can't wait to show it to you. But that's where you would enter the client's credit card information, okay? Right here inside a client under tracking,
Thank you.
okay? Any other questions?
Hi, Ron. This is
Yes.
Malvin. You are in discussing the credit card information and getting approval from the client. Is all that included in the regular version, or is that part of the advanced package?
So what I just did, of course, I'm only on the standard. That client portal task I talked about, that is in the advanced package. Thank you for the question. But there's a lot of stuff in that advanced package. We're going to have a whole session for that, okay?
Great, thanks.
Any other questions? Anybody else?
Hey Ron, it's Gina. Question. So you were saying we would say we have somebody who is a potential booking. We don't have any trip information yet. They're waiting for the 2021 packages to open up. So we would create them as a client, and then would we add it as a task that we need to check back in with them around that time, or how would we do that?
See, that's a really good question, okay? And so, you know, what I do is I would add it in as a client, okay? And so I'm going to come and I'm going to start a trip, okay? And then I'm going to say this is a vacation, and I don't know the exact date, but they're talking about maybe, you know, March, somewhere in that range, okay? And so here I'm going to put, this is Alexander the other crew, CRU, okay? And I'm gonna save that. And here I'm just gonna put who I'm talking to, okay? And so this is Sharon. And I'm gonna create it if they're not already in there, and I'm gonna put her email address. And okay. All right. So this is all I know right now. I'm going to add a note and said they are looking $21. Okay, 20. You'll get it right, Ron. All right, and I'm gonna save that. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I want to put a task. I'm going to add a task, and so I want to follow up, and I'm probably going to want to follow up with them. You know, let's say November, okay? And this is general, and I'm just going to save this. Now, yes, it's going to be in my trips, and that's fine, because see, now these two here, I would have moved these to booked because I've already got them booked, okay? And so this other one, I'm gonna click up there on my trips and I'm gonna mark this one as booked. It's already booked. So these booked ones I already have done. So I've got booked, I've got canceled, I've got it's paid. Paid means the client has paid in full. Ready to travel means I've delivered the documents. This is all systems go. So this one was booked. And so I'm going to save that one. And so now this one is active, which means I'm actively waiting, to get this booked. And so it's fine. It's going to stay on the list. And, if she calls in, I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to go search for Sharon.
So there is a way to filter the trips based off of their status?
There is, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Now, I'm going to come over here. Did I not save her? Hold on. What did I do here? I didn't save. So I added her. Here, but I didn't click this save button. Now she's part of this trip. Okay. So yes, when I go to my trips, I can come over here and I can pull up just my actives. Okay. And I can see just the actives. All right. I can also, put in start dates, when they're going to start. I can pull up all my 2021s and whatever I want to do here. And so I can do all kind of things. But what I'm gonna do is when she calls or I get this task that shows up for me to take a look at this, okay, and to follow up, then I get that and I'm gonna go look it up and pull this up and it's gonna bring this up. Now, let's just say they don't go. They end up not going. So there's no bookings, there's nothing else. I'm just gonna click here and I'm gonna cancel it. And I'm going to save it. Okay, when I go to my trip list now, it's gone. If I come over here and include canceled, it's going to show up. But let's say that Sharon calls in and wants to do something. So I'm going to go look up Sharon and I'm going to see here, I'm going to go to trips and I'm going to see that I put this trip in for her and it never really took off. So I could pull this up and, work on it. Maybe they want to go now, or I could see that I've done 3 of those for her and none of them have actually booked. So I'm not sure how much of my time Sharon's going to get. So, but you have records of it. Okay. And so that's how I would handle those. Yes.
Hi, this is Suzanne. I do have a question. We don't put in credit, we don't save credit card information because of the liability purposes. So that's a concern of mine when you mentioned that. I don't know what type of system y'all have.
Well, no, it's completely PCI compliant and they're going to be very secure. But that's a decision that you guys have to make. And
Okay.
if you tell them you don't want the credit cards, saved, then they shouldn't save credit cards. We can indicate to you, we can give you a list of people that have entered credit cards so that you can counsel with them. But, that is, that is a way, we are going through a third-party audit right now, to get a certification, and so we have people going through all of our servers, all of our software and everything to actually get a certificate saying we are PCI compliant.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say right now we're not gonna do that.
Okay. Okay.
Just for liability reasons for us
Sure.
and for y'all.
Okay.
We've got all their information and then credit card information and yeah, I just.
Okay, that's up to you. That's
Okay.
a decision that you guys can make. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And so I see a lot of questions here. I want to stick with the questions about what we've done tonight. I see newsletters and marketing and all this other stuff. Those are things that the system will do all of these things that you're asking. Okay. And so we're just going to get you there. But what we want to do tonight is we want to stick to the basics. And the basics is I've entered a couple trips. Here I did a Disney, here I did a Disney cruise. Do I know how to do the basics? Now, as soon as you put this in like this and you have this booking in here, when commission is received, you're going to receive the commission check for it because you have it in here. We're going to go over what all that looks like at a future webinar. But for right now, what I'm trying to do is to build out this projected income report of everybody I have traveling in the future. I have it here and it's all set. Okay. Any more questions?
Ron,
Yes.
I know they asked about where to put fast passes, dining plan, and I told them like in task and work.
Yes.
Can
So
you show that to them just real quick?
I can. So I'm going to bring this up. And so I added this task automatically. Okay. But what we have, and this will be covered in the next one, but let's go ahead and take a look. Let's come in here. Let me see. I think I have this called Disney. And we're going to be building this out. Yes, here. Okay. So this is what we call an extension. So when I add this Disney resort, and I'm going to be working with Suzanne and Steve and a few of you, I'm sure, and we're going to get the ones built, and we're going to show you how to build them. And can be done with a standard package. Now, when I add this extension to this, what it's going to do is it's going to add, number one, it added a tab. Maybe Suzanne wants to collect some more information, okay? So you can have more information. So y'all could get a custom tab built that says we want to track more than what your system tracks. So this is something that y'all would come up with, and then we could provide it. But notice here under task, it came up and it put all these tasks for me. Advanced dining on 3/8, advanced tea time, online check-in, fast pass, all these things, magic band personalization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to build this extension, and you get that extension and you say, okay, I've got these 22 things I want to make sure I do as an agent every time I send someone to Disney. And I want it done this many days before they travel, this many days after they travel, whatever it is. And we build that workflow. And then when you pull it in here to this trip, it does all of that for you. That's where the real excitement starts, because, if I'm sending someone on a Disney cruise, you sit down and say, okay, every time I send someone on a Disney cruise, I want to do these 8 things. Make sure I've checked on this stuff for them. Did I deliver the documents? They do online check-in. Did I do this? Did I do that? So those are called extensions or workflows that can be built. Let's say you send someone to a Sandals resort. What things do I want to make sure I do? All of that, these tasks can be set up on the standard plan. Now, when we go to the advanced plan, then we say, okay, I as an agent need to make sure I remember to do these things, but I want to send the client an email about this. I want to send them an email about this. I want to send them an email about this. Welcome home before you go. Thank you for your booking. So all of these emails are going to be able to be sent to the client automatically. So that's all the good stuff to come. What is the cost of the advanced package? It would be, so Suzanne's paying for your standard, and then your cost to add the advanced would be $15 a month. And you would put your credit card and you would get charged. Yes, $15 a month. Yep. Okay. All right. You have anything else tonight, Suzanne?
That's it for tonight. I know they have a lot of questions.
They do.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to go through them and answer them. But guys, this is just basic. I know it looks hard, but once you get in there and you play with it, it's really not that hard because Ron showed me a few things, but I basically taught myself how to do it, and it's easy. You just got to get used to going in and doing it every day.
It is. It's, it's really, real easy. And, you see, we just entered these two. It didn't take very long. Is I'm going to put in the trip information. I'm going to put who's going, what are they going to do, and here's the booking. That's kind of it. From that, that's the minimum. From there, you can just, continue to grow from there with the things that you let it do for you. Okay. Well, I really appreciate the time. I will get this recording over to you, Suzanne,
Okay.
and you can send it out to everybody. Or if somebody didn't get to come, you had just a tremendous turnout tonight, and it's just a testament to you guys what a great group you are to have this huge a turnout on a night like tonight. So I really really appreciate it.
Well, thank
And
you so much, Ron.
oh, it was awesome. All right, guys. I will talk to you next time.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. Bye bye.